If you're watching this right now, chances are you're exhausted. Maybe it's 3 in the morning and you've been up 6 times already. Maybe you've tried everything and your baby still won't stay asleep, and you're starting to wonder if there's something wrong with you, or worse, something wrong with your baby. Let me tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with either of you. What's wrong is that most information out there about baby sleep is based on outdated assumptions and unrealistic expectations. So let's talk about what's really going on, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. First, we need to address the elephant in the room. When we say a baby can't stay asleep, we're comparing them to adult sleep. But here's the truth. Babies are not supposed to sleep like adults. They're not even capable of it. Adult sleep cycles last about 90 minutes. Babies, especially young infants, have sleep cycles that last only 40 to 50 minutes. That means they're transitioning between sleep stages twice as often as you are. And every single one of those transitions is an opportunity to wake up. As adults, we transition smoothly without remembering it. Your baby is brand new at this. They're learning. Let's talk about what's happening in your baby's brain and body that makes sleep so challenging. One of the biggest factors is sleep pressure. Sleep pressure is the biological drive to sleep that builds up the longer we're awake. In babies, sleep pressure builds up incredibly quickly. A newborn might only handle 45 minutes of wakefulness. A 3-month-old might max out at an hour and a half. A 6-month-old might handle 2 to 2.5 hours. Here's where parents run into trouble. If you keep your baby awake too long, their body starts producing cortisol and adrenaline to keep them going. Once those stress hormones are in their system, sleep becomes much harder. This is why overtired babies fight sleep desperately and then wake up frequently throughout the night. On the flip side, if a baby hasn't been awake long enough, they don't have enough sleep pressure built up to sleep deeply. So the first real reason your baby can't stay asleep might be that their wake windows are off, and that optimal wake window changes constantly as they grow. The second major factor is sleep associations. A sleep association is simply anything your baby associates with falling asleep. Nursing, rocking, bouncing, a pacifier, white noise, a dark room, being held. All babies have sleep associations. The challenge comes when a baby's primary sleep association is something they can't recreate on their own. If they fall asleep while nursing or being rocked, and then they transition into lighter sleep and realize those conditions have changed, they're going to wake up and signal for help. This doesn't mean you have to stop nursing or rocking your baby to sleep. But it does mean understanding that if this is how your baby falls asleep, this is probably also how they'll need help falling back asleep during the night. The third reason is hunger, but not the kind you might think. Many babies develop a pattern where they're not taking full feeds during the day because they're distracted or busy, and then they make up for those calories at night. This is called reverse cycling. It's really common around 3 to 4 months when babies become more interested in the world. They'd rather look around than eat during the day, but their bodies still need those calories, so they wake frequently at night. The fourth factor is developmental. Babies' brains are growing at an explosive rate. They're learning new skills constantly: rolling, sitting, crawling, standing. And babies often practice these new skills in their sleep. You might find your baby standing up in their crib at 3 in the morning, completely confused about how they got there. Major developmental leaps almost always disrupt sleep temporarily. It's frustrating, but it's completely normal. The fifth reason is environmental. Babies sleep best in a room between 68 and 72 degrees. Even a few degrees warmer can fragment their sleep. Light matters too. Even small amounts of light can suppress melatonin production. That night light might actually be part of the problem. Complete silence can make it harder for babies to stay asleep because any little noise becomes jarring. White noise masks those sudden sounds that might startle a baby awake and helps babies transition between sleep cycles more smoothly. The sixth reason is sleep timing. Babies have a circadian rhythm that develops around 3 to 4 months. Their body starts producing melatonin on a schedule, and that schedule needs to align with their actual sleep times. If your baby's natural melatonin surge happens around 7:30, but you're putting them to bed at 9, you're fighting against their biology. they've missed their optimal sleep window. The seventh factor is discomfort. Not major pain, but low-level discomfort that becomes intolerable when trying to sleep. Gas is a big one. If your baby has trapped gas, they might squirm and fuss in their sleep, waking themselves up repeatedly. Reflux is another. Babies with reflux might wake frequently at night when lying flat causes stomach contents to come back up. The eighth reason is temperament. Some babies are just more sensitive than others. They startle easily. They're bothered by sensations that wouldn't bother another baby. They have a harder time self-regulating. These babies often need more support, more consistency, and more patience when it comes to sleep. The ninth factor is expectations. A lot of baby sleep problems aren't actually baby sleep problems. They're normal baby sleep being measured against unrealistic expectations. If you expect a 4-month-old to sleep 12 hours straight, you're going to feel like you're failing. But if you understand that most 4-month-olds wake 2 to 4 times a night and that's completely biologically normal, suddenly you're not failing. Uninterrupted sleep for babies is a developmental milestone, like walking or talking. Some babies get there earlier, some later. You can't force it to happen before your baby is developmentally ready. So what do you actually do with all this information? First, figure out your baby's optimal wake windows. Watch for sleep cues: yawning, rubbing eyes, getting fussy, staring off into space. When you see those cues, start your sleep routine within about 10 to 15 minutes. Second, create a consistent sleep environment. Dark room, cool temperature, white noise. Same conditions for every sleep. Third, develop a simple, predictable routine before sleep. Even just dimming the lights, changing the diaper, putting on a sleep sack, and singing a quick song creates a pattern that signals sleep is coming. Fourth, pay attention to feeding patterns. Make sure your baby is getting full feeds during the day. If they're snacking frequently but never really tanking up, they're more likely to need substantial calories at night. Fifth, give your baby opportunities to practice self-settling gradually and with support. It can be as simple as putting them down drowsy but awake and staying right there, offering comfort but giving them a chance to work it out. Sixth, be consistent. If bedtime is at a different time every night and the routine changes daily, their body never knows what to expect. Consistency helps their circadian rhythm develop. Seventh, adjust your expectations. Understanding what's normal for your baby's age can reduce a lot of stress. And finally, take care of yourself. Sleep deprivation is brutal. Tag team with your partner if you can. Ask for help. Lower your standards for everything else in life right now. Survival mode is real, and it's temporary. Your baby will sleep eventually. Some babies get there at 4 months, some at 8 months, some not until well into their 2nd year. It doesn't reflect on your parenting. It just means you have the baby you have, with their unique temperament and developmental timeline. And in the meantime, you're doing an incredible job. Even though you're exhausted, you're showing up, night after night, meeting your baby's needs. That's what matters. So give yourself some grace, trust your instincts, and know that this phase doesn't last forever. You're going to get through this. And one day, sooner than you think, you're going to sleep again.